So next, let's look at page 137, where we have two vectors in space. Okay, how do you add it up? Now, if you have two vectors in space, and both emanating from the origin, that means that they have 3 points, right? The origin, the tip of A, and the tip of B. Now, when that happens, you have 3 points, and from Euclidean geometry, 3 points define a plane. Okay, so if 3 points define a plane, then you can pretend, even if the two vectors are in space, you can pretend that it's 2D, is in a 2D plane. Therefore, as a result, all the vector rules that we've learned so far from 2D vectors apply. That is, if you were to add them up, they will become a vector that with the parallelogram rule, right? You just draw the parallelogram and the diagonal is A plus B, and A plus B will be in the same plane. Now, if you turn the page, the next page shows all these properties, scalar multiplication, addition, subtraction, etc. They all apply, carrying over from the 2D vectors to the 3D vectors, because two 3D vectors are always in the same plane. And with that, so now that we know that, please do example 2.19 as part of your homework. So now we have come to the football toss. Now the football toss seems like a long problem, but it isn't. All you're doing is you're calculating the vector. Okay, the vector is the x coordinate. The x direction is going at the 20. Is in the x direction is 20. Okay, the x component, that is. The y component is going at 15, and then you are supposed to calculate the z component with the fact that the z component is going up by 30 degrees. This is the z component. Once you figure that out, then what is z? And then you have another requirement is that the vector, which is in its direction, is 20, 15, and then z, where z goes up by 30 degrees. But you also have to calculate such that the magnitude of this vector that you're calculating has to be equal to the magnitude has to be equal to what did it say, 60 miles an hour. So yeah, so the v has to be 60. So you have to divide this thing by a certain magnitude to get to the answer. So that's example 2.220. Please do that as part of your homework. And with that, we have come to the end of this section. I apologize for the video being in 2 parts because I clicked the wrong button and then I got into a mess. So I have to redo the last end of it. So for homework, please do on page 142, problems 61, 65, 69, 73, 77, 81, 85, 89, 93, 97, 101, 105, 109, and 113. Now, all these problems, you might feel like you got stuck in, I don't know, high school again, doing basic algebra or some minor amount of trigonometry, which is true, but, well, it got easier. Part of it, vector algebra, is easier, which but please do them anyway because they give you a good solid feel for doing manipulating vectors, especially in space.